Welcome back to Bricks and Bytes, everyone. Today, we're all about coding. So grab your Lego.
And let's go.
I'm Emma.
And I'm Ben.
And we're back on Bricks and Bytes. It's so great to be back. Today, as I said, it's all about coding, and we've got Sarah from Code Like a Girl to talk to us about how to build your own website. And then Ben's got a really cool Lego challenge for us.
Yeah, I'm going to look at how you can use different colours in styling your Lego builds, and we'll talk all about how you can find inspiration for building as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then I'll show you an app that'll teach you all about coding for websites.
Yeah, but first we have our 5-minute frenzy. So hopefully you've got some Lego with us and you can join in. We've got just 5 minutes to build something, a surprise for us. We don't know what we're building yet. It's in the cup, so we're going to pick something out of the cup and build that. So if you've got your Lego, you can join in, and we've got 5 minutes to work together on this. So shall we pick what's in there? Do you want to pick it this time?
Sure. All right, here we go. The unfolding. Today, this is a tricky one. An emotion.
What? Oh.
That's a bit abstract. It's a bit tricky.
Okay, an emotion.
It's got a little happy face, an uninterested face,
Can we
and
make
a
it
sad
an
face.
emoji, maybe?
Maybe. How do you see an emotion?
An emotion. How would you build an emotion?
You get clever with this one.
Okay. So let's get 5 minutes on the clock.
Ready?
Let's do it.
Go. All right. Jumping in.
Okay, an emotion. All right.
Do you go for like something that makes you feel a certain emotion? Or do we just do a face? Is it like the cat's face all over again?
Oh yeah. I think I'm going to go with maybe a face. Or I don't know. Just what makes, like if you're gonna be happy, like what makes you feel happy? Like I could just build Lego. Lego makes me feel happy.
Yeah, all right.
I'm just gonna build a Lego brick.
Maybe you just have to convince with your story.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Build a story.
The story is where it counts, and we've got like 4 minutes to do this.
I know we've already wasted a minute just contemplating what this could possibly be.
This is a tough one. Like you're right. I think this is like cat's face level difficulty. For those of you who haven't seen it, there is an episode where we had to make a cat's face, and it was actually really, really hard.
Yeah, it was very difficult and very funny.
So I'm just scouring this collection of pieces, looking for inspiration.
I've got inspiration. I'm starting to build.
I'm
not going to explain it yet. I'll show you guys when it's all done.
I sort of feel like I'm going to go with the pieces and see what we can do here. This is not easy. An emotion. Well, if you remember back a couple of episodes ago, we had the brick bots, and we had somebody send in an emotion or a robot that they made that would help you with your emotions if you're feeling sad. It had like different size. That was really nice.
I love that. Ben's not moving much, guys.
I don't know what I'm doing.
This is Ben's limit, maybe?
Abstract.
We
It's so abstract. And I'm just looking at the parts, thinking about what to do. So let's just put some parts together and see what comes out of it. Yeah, let's try that.
Sounds like a good start.
Yeah, well, I better start, otherwise I'll have nothing.
We're gonna run out.
We're
almost at
halfway, and I've got like nothing. Okay.
I'm stealing from Ben's side of the table.
I've got an idea. If it'll come together.
starting to feel the rush.
Oh.
Feeling like I'm not going to get my idea done in time. Let's see.
Do I have an idea? do I have time to get an idea first? What's our time look like now?
Just under 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. How are you going at home?
Yeah.
What emotion are you
Tell
feeling
us.
right now?
Are you feeling stressed like Ben?
Say hello in the comments if you're. You can always jump on our Facebook page and say hello to us.
Yeah. We'd love to hear how you guys go. 'Cause everyone builds differently. As you can tell when you watch Ben and I build.
We have very different approaches to this.
The Lego.
Uh-oh, we've got like 1 minute left.
Ah! Alright, I need some more. This is actually, I feel like this is similar to what I've done before, but it's okay. I like it still.
I feel like I'm changing my ideas as we go.
I'm going to take some inspiration from something Ben taught us a while
Ooh.
ago. Yeah. Getting close, 30 seconds.
Oh dear.
It sounds like he's given up.
I'm just in trouble.
Alright, last bit.
Okay,
Oh,
oh
10 seconds.
no.
Oh no.
We have very little time left. 9 seconds. You
I need like one specific piece. Here we go. This is perfect.
know what?
2,
You know what?
1,
This is not. Ah.
and time.
Okay, alright. So,
Alright.
Emma, let's go to you first because you probably actually
Sure.
built something. So,
I tried. Alright. This is my build.
how have you built so much in 5
It was so
minutes?
stressful. Alright. So this is the beach and nature and a guy who's really happy because the beach makes me happy and he's surfing and nature makes me happy.
I like it. That's really cool.
Nature's like a peaceful emotion.
I
You
am-
know, nature, you feel
I'm so
chill.
impressed
It
with-
helps you control your emotions sometimes.
So good. All right. This is mine. So, you know what I was... Emma has the most confused look on her face right now. I was going to build like a bomb because I was like feeling stressed. And then I think the stress just got to me and this is all I came up with. And then it was like a guy with like headphones.
It does. It looks like a guy with headphones.
Like just a chill guy going, just nodding his head as
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, listen to this stereo. Cool.
But yeah, now we're going to go to Sarah, who's going to talk to us all about building a website and using the coding languages HTML and CSS. Very interesting. We're very excited.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Hi there, my name is Sarah and I'm a software developer. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm filming from the lands of the Paramount people, and I pay my respect to their elders past, present and emerging. Being a software developer means that I spend my days writing code to build computer programs, and specifically I build applications for the web. I work for a company called Code Like a Girl, and I'm helping to build an online platform where people can go and learn coding skills. I love working with software because it opens up a world of possibilities for people to connect to ideas and connect to each other and be really creative. It's a great job because you get to explore a lot of different interests through the lens of technology. So right now I work in education, but I've also worked with photographers and pet stores and fashion designers and all sorts. It's also a really flexible job because while my co-workers live in other cities in Australia like Sydney and Melbourne, I live on a farm in South Australia and I get to work remotely from right here in my home office. So I program in a few different coding languages, the main one being JavaScript, which along with HTML and CSS are the core technologies of the World Wide Web. So today I wanted to show you a little demo of what you can do with HTML and CSS on the web. I'm going to be using a tool called Code Sandbox, which is a free tool that's going to let us play around with some code. And I'm going to build a bit of a web page and show you how I add an animated GIF with HTML and create a text animation with CSS. So I'm going to create a sandbox and just select a static template, which is going to give me a boilerplate. And then I'm going to start changing some of the content. When I save that, it refreshes my screen and I can see that my changes are already starting to happen. Next thing I'm going to do is add a little animated GIF, which is kind of like a little movie. I've got this little cat GIF here and I'm going to grab the link for it and pop it into my HTML document here using an image tag. And there we can see it's shown up. It's pulling that in from this website here. Next up, I want to add a bit of style and change how the way this looks. So to do that, I'm going to add a file called styles.css, which is my style sheet file. And I'm going to link it into my HTML document here. Now that I've got my style sheet file, I can start adding some rules here. So the first one I'm going to do is add a background color to the whole body of the site. Now that doesn't really look quite right to me, so I'm going to find a color I can use using this cheat sheet here, and I'm going to pick a color called pale violet red. I'm also going to remove the default margin and then align everything to the center. And we do use American English in coding. The next thing I want to edit is the heading that says I love coding, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We can see that this is starting to take shape. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a bit of a border to the image to make it pop out from the background a little bit. We're almost there. The last thing I'm going to do is animate the text using the keyframes property. So I'm going to start by defining my little keyframes function, and I'm going to call it Go Rainbow. And then I'm going to add in how that should animate. Now you can see that that hasn't changed anything yet, and that's because I have to apply this Go Rainbow function to the heading. So I'm going to do that right now. And I'm going to add just a little stroke around the text to make it pop out. And when I save, we should see that animation. There we go. We can see that that text is now changing color. We've got our little cat GIF. So this web page is now live on the internet. Anyone can see this with this link right up here. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little coding demo. If you did enjoy that and you want to see a bit more, I do make similar videos on the Code Like a Girl YouTube channel, and there's so many resources to learn HTML on CSS online. You just have to Google it. Thanks so much for having me, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Thanks heaps, Sarah. That was so cool. I love the little typing cat. That was excellent.
Yeah, so cute. And I actually went to the website that she made that on, and you can still see it. You could log in with the little HTML on your own device, anything that you have.
All right, well, we're going to be back in just a sec, and I'm going to take some of that inspiration from Sarah's HTML and CSS and apply that to some Lego builds. So we'll be back very soon. Okay, well, now we're going to have a look at a Lego challenge. So what I want to do is challenge you today about styling your build. So just like HTML and CSS, you saw that the HTML that Sarah made was just the title and the image and looked a bit bland, but then she added that style sheet on top of it to make it colourful and she could do different things. Now, to be honest, Lego is a little bit pricey, so not everyone has all the Lego, and you might think, oh, I'd love to make something, but I might not have all the parts. Well, why not look for some instructions and just make it out of the parts you've got? So, for example, you can go online and search for Lego instructions. There's all sorts of instructions going right back to almost the start of when Lego was producing their bricks. And there's been one build that I've always wanted to make, and it's this big Lego minifigure. So you can see 3723, it's a giant minifigure. So I don't have the parts. There's lots of different parts that you need for this. So I just used what I had. So this is what I came up with.
Drum roll.
Okay, here it
Ta-da.
is. Da-da-dum. Look at this. It's
Such a groovy dude.
giant minifigure. It doesn't have it doesn't have a face because, I didn't have the parts, but, this is just like what we were saying with HTML and CSS.
I'm so scared to touch it.
Give Emma a go. So just like HTML and CSS, you might have the instructions that gives you the structure, but your CSS gives you the style. So obviously we've got a multicolor style because that's what we had.
He's a disco dude.
So good. If you've been looking for instructions, there's also different ways you can look for them. So there is a website called Rebrickable, which is really cool. With Rebrickable, what you can do is you can find instructions for people's creations or for other Lego pieces, but you can also add in what Lego sets you have, and then the website will tell you what you can make out of those parts. So it can say, here's the parts you have, this is what you can create. Another way you can find out where to get instructions from is, of course, at the library. So here's a book that we have at the library called Lego Micro Cities. We've talked about micro builds before, but this is fantastic. It shows you how to build these micro scale cities, and also shows you some different styles. So if you don't have all the parts of these builds, they give you alternatives. And we're going to make one of those today. So we've got a little, here we go. The Falcon's Roost. It's like a block of apartments, and we're going to use the parts that we have to make this. Now, of course, I don't have all of those color parts, but I have got stuff that's similar, and today I just want to test out what it's like to build in micro scale. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you can see there's some repeating patterns here. So we're just going to show you how to do these repeating patterns. Emma's going to help build the walls, and I'm going to show you this middle part here. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So first up, we're just going to start with these. These are our headlight bricks. And what's fun about these is that they have connections on the back of the bricks as well. So you can lie them down like that. And when you lie them down, they have the bottoms facing out, which looks like a window. So we're going to start with that. And we're going to use that as our windows for our apartment. And we're just going to build. So you can see that it's just a plate and then these bricks on the side and then this sort of hinge part and repeats. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of other ones that I've made before. You don't have to watch build the whole thing. I'm just going to stack that on top. So that is the front of our building. So you can see today, instead of having the grey, I've just got a mix of different greens and different colours in there. And then we're just going to put the walls on. There we go. So this is our apartment block. And we just need a roof. So we've got a little stylised roof here. Pop that on top. Now, it sort of makes sense when you put it in its own little park. So we've got like a little car here and a road and park across the street. And we pop our apartment block right there. There we go. So there's our apartment block with its own car park. How about that? So that's an example of one of the builds out of this Lego Micro Cities book.
Nice.
You
I
can
like it.
pop that on hold at your local library and get that in. It's a really good way to get into micro builds and learn all about different parts. There we go. So you can style your Lego however you want.
There's lots of different books at libraries too. There's ones where you can build animals and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Awesome.
Lego books. I always love looking through them.
Speaking of books, there's some really great coding books, and you can learn
Yes.
about HTML and CSS.
This is true. There's also great coding apps. So I'm going to show you guys today an app called Memo, which lets you learn coding. So it teaches you specifically HTML and CSS, but also some other stuff. So I'll take you through it and we'll get straight in. So here we go. So here we are opening it up and we have learn to code. So you hit get started and then let's go. And you can decide why you want to do it and then how much coding experience you have. So maybe you have a little bit of experience, maybe you have a lot of experience, but I'm just going to set it to none. So you can start it from a beginner. Next is the reason you want to learn. So you can either learn for web development, which is what I'm going to click, or you can learn Python as well, which is pretty cool. And then you can set a goal. So you can spend some time on it every day and decide how much time you want to spend learning coding. And you can even set yourself a reminder, but I'm just going to swiftly go through this. You do have to sign up, but it's pretty quick and easy. You just put your name in. I'm going to be Marion Library for today. And then you put in a password and it'll put together a personalized lesson for you. So this is going to teach us all about HTML, the computer language that structures everything. And so you go through and there's questions that you just slowly answer and you figure them out. So this one, we're creating a button. So it's going to be the one that says button. So I'm just slowly learning how to do it. So is it button or IMG? Obviously button. And you can see that the 2 brackets on each side make it into part of the HTML language. So it's an opening tag. And it starts to teach us all the language of HTML. And then it's going to keep going and it kind of gets you to make up your own mind about what you think things will be. And then now we learn that there's a closing tag. And so how do we make a closing tag? We just put that / and then button. And so it takes you through step by step and it can be a little bit repetitive, but it really gets it into your brain so that you're able to do it. So here we get to a part where it's actually going to show us, once we figure out which one it is, there we go, what it looks like on a website. So that's what that little bit of coding would appear like on a website. So we can put in the closing tag, which we learned is the bracket / button bracket, and hit next. And there we go. We see our little like button that we've coded. And you just keep working through these. We're going to do one that says send, and this time we have to put in the opening tag as well. And there we go. And you can also check and see exactly what you've put in. And that creates on a website a little button. It's kind of crazy. So you work through all of these, figuring out which / to put in. And as you get them all done, your lesson will finish and it'll give you a huge big congratulations. So we'll do this very last one, I'm pretty sure. Putting in the closing tag. There we go. So it's like a little comment button like you guys can do on Facebook right now. There we go. So you can earn sparks and then you get more and more and you can actually go onto a leadership board, which I'll show you in a sec. But here we go. So this is the main page now. And this is where all your lessons are. Down the bottom, we hit profile and you can actually see anything that you've created and all of your settings. So you can change here your goals, your reminders, all of that kind of thing. So if you decide that 10 minutes a day is a bit too much, you can change it to 5. If you really want to go crazy with your coding, you can go to 20. And then it's just super cute and encouraging. So now we're going to look at browse. So we're going back to the path and I'll show you, this is how you can change it from web development to Python if you decide you want to switch it up. But basically, as we go through and scroll down, these are all the things that you'll start to learn how to do. So you'll learn how to add images to a website. You'll learn how to structure text with a tag and to put links in. And then you can go into browse down the bottom and that gives you a whole bunch of other categories and courses that you can learn. So you can learn about programming or AI or all kinds of other things. So that's where that is. And then up the top, if we click projects, these are quick, easy projects that let you see what you've created. So we're going to do the first one and create a website. So it's similar to what we've just done. So we've learnt this. So an opening tag is bracket, word, bracket. So put that in. Closing tag, easy, / next. Then we have to put in a body tag. So this decides what your font's going to look like. It's like what Sarah was teaching us about just before. So we go through and add that. Sometimes you'll have to type it all yourself. Sometimes it'll give you bits, but it just is helping you learn all the different things about HTML specifically. We keep going. It's going to ask us to order them. So on the website, like we just saw Sarah do, HTML goes at the top and the bottom, then body, and then we put the text we want in the middle. And at the end of this, we're going to be able to see exactly what it looks like, which is kind of cool. So we just put that in there, hit play, and there we go. So that was one of the little projects. Here's our leaderboard, which we get to from down the bottom as well. And we're actually pretty high up. I'm quite impressed with us. And then the last thing I'll show you is in community, there's playgrounds. So this is where you can actually play games that other people have coded. So some people are really good at coding and are really advanced, and they do code like this. So you don't have to know what the code is to be able to play the game, because it's a whole lot of code. But you can just play along. So you just got to try and shoot the button. And little things like that. There's a whole bunch of those in here. There's easy things like a password generator that can just be fun. There's a dot spot game. It's apparently the hardest game you've ever played. You have to try it and see. But there's a whole bunch of different games in there, and you can build your own when you get to that level and you're feeling confident.
Fantastic, Emma. That was really cool. I really like that app. That looks fantastic. All right, well, if you have a go with Memo and you want to create something, you can always post about it on our Facebook group. I'm going to just pop that up on the screen there. So facebook.com/group/bricks and bytes. You can post your photos, you can ask us questions, give us suggestions. If you want to put something in the 5-minute frenzy
cup. We always need more of these. Make them funny, different. We got an emotion today, so anything's
that was definitely different.
buildable.
Give us a challenge.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week, and we hope you have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next time. See ya.